We can't say the future without AI. I mean, there's no way around it. 50% of workers now believe AI is going to improve their experience. When I come into the meeting room, I need a way to incorporate my AI with what's going on in the meeting. It's almost a bring your own AI type of a concept. Most of what we do in our day-to-day is going to change significantly.
Hear the latest AV trends and predictions in this episode of Crestron's Smarter Spaces podcast on your preferred podcast platform.
I didn't realize that dueling pianos was going to be such a thing.
Dude, dueling pianos is huge.
Did not know that. And to find out that the Brits don't have that,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen it.
No.
Okay.
But I've lived a very sheltered life.
That sounds like a business opportunity. You and I should learn piano.
We should. We should.
What's up, Doc? Who? France Liszt. Never heard of him. Wrong number.
We're coming to you live from the fantastic folks at Midwich, their booth from InfoComm 2025, talking about trends, talking about networking, and talking about community. All that and more. Next on AV Week. This is AV Week, episode 721, recorded Friday, June 13th, 2025. InfoComm 2025, part 1. This is AV Week, your weekly wrap-up of the audiovisual news and information. My name is Tim Mulberry. I am your host. It's different. You know this. This is InfoComm Week. We are in the fantastic Midwich AV On Air booth, and we would like to thank them for this. Next 2 episodes, this is where I will sit. First segment, if you haven't ever listened to this, we're going to have a cavalcade of really smart people, because I'm not it, especially at this point in the week. So with us, first and foremost, our host for this, Mr. Chris Neto.
Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm well, brother. How are you?
Doing good. Looking sharp.
Yeah. Well, not as sharp as you two, because Iffat Chaudhry is here, and you two color coordinated.
That's what we do.
If you're not watching the video, how are you, ma'am?
Made it through the week. I'm really happy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a great week.
Good. Well, let's kind of get into that. Iffat, not to be silly, Iffat's accent would probably give her away. You're from the UK, UK AV. You and I typically see each other at ISC.
Yes.
So first and foremost, what brought you to the States and to the InfoComm?
Peer pressure.
Oh, okay. So Chris.
At the end of the day, everybody, all of our shows, whether it's ISC, whether it's InfoComm, whether it's NAB or wherever, the one thing that people always say that they enjoy the most is the networking and coming out and seeing people. As you know, I do a fair bit of work with AVIXA in terms of volunteering, and it was a combination of opportunities that got me over, and I'm glad I didn't miss it. All
right, so networking is one thing. What else was your how was your week? What did you see? What did you hear?
I think my highlight was yesterday. We had the women's breakfast. Absolutely amazing turnout for that. I still want it to be a brunch. I'll go on record and say, women like lunch. We'll do a brunch. Let's put us on the schedule for between 9 to 5, not 7:30 a.m.
Okay.
So I keep saying it. I'll keep banging that drum. But we had an amazing keynote speaker, Noelle Russell. I also had the privilege of spending some time with her after the breakfast. She was very generous with her time, and we'll be sharing that recording soon. Both I and the wonderful Neil Fluester, we co-interviewed her. So awesome. Chatted. I wouldn't say it was interviewed, it was a conversation. But she is an absolute trailblazer when it comes to AI. She was at the fore of the invention of Alexa. So she worked for Amazon at that time. So her story is amazing. So, I will be tagging you all when that comes out.
Absolutely. All right. Mr. Neto,
yes, sir.
You, not to be silly, but you work for Midwich. We are in your guys' fantastic studio, so thank you again.
Yes.
When we interview manufacturers and exhibitors, I have learned not to ask, well, what did you see? Because you saw this 50 by 50 booth, and that was pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the 2 or 3 booths that we walked through to get here.
Yes.
But what was your week like? Like, what did you feel? What about the industry? What has this week left you with?
A couple things. I did see some product, and full disclosure, there are brands that I do have. So the first thing is we're in a studio. This ICANN lighting and PoE++.
Okay.
Beautiful. The fact that it's small, efficient, running off a switch as opposed to, 20 amp circuits.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. That was the first thing, because obviously we don't have a lot of technology currently at our booth. We have maybe a screen outside. What we have in the podcast studio is wonderful, but these stood out because this is the first time we did any type of studio lighting in space, and a really nice job to come off of a PoE switch. So this is the ICANN PoE lighting. The other thing that I got to go see, from an experiential perspective, because I do have a lot of friends in the business, and some of them are getting into that business. What I liked about the one product I'm going to say I saw is it's TBD. It's going to come out, and it is provided by Epson. It's their Alt 1.6 LED.
Okay.
Specifically, there's a skin put over the an LED panel, so that it looks like wood, looks like stone, looks like whatever it is that you want printed, and the LEDs can emit the light through it. So now the ghosting comes through, and it comes pretty well out through they have a small 55-inch kind of version of it, a couple panels put together. It's actually really cool, really nice. And part of this, and I'll explain, when I was with a manufacturer at one point, I had a consultant and an interior designer come to us and said, hey, we have this microperf veneer. How do I want to show the news. Can we take your LED, put it behind it, jack the volume, the brightness as high as possible? It should be able to come through, but it kept coming through like an old analog digital clock, right? It wasn't giving the smooth effect. They figured out how to do it. Wow. It looks wonderful. I love it. It almost looks like it's projector mapped onto a wooden thing without having a projector on it. It's something you guys really need to check out. Now, that's product. Now that we've done the product conversation, what I like this week, every time I come to InfoComm, I'm reminded that there is a community of people, and this industry is made up of people.
Yeah.
What InfoComm does, and not to shortchange the whole whiz bang of a show, but what they do is, it's a house party, and they provide the house.
Yeah.
Right? We bring the beer. I mean, it's pretty much how it works, right? They provide us a place to hang out, and we all get together. And to me, that kind of networking is invaluable. I got to spend a lot of time with you guys over at Tech on Tap with CTI and our own party, which whispers in the background say our party was one of the top highlights of some people's show thing. So kudos to the team that put that together, Crystal and Ying and our team. Picked the right venue, picked the right food, picked the right environment, and apparently the right band. I didn't realize that dueling pianos was going to be such a thing.
Dude, dueling pianos is huge.
Did not know that. And to find out that the Brits don't have that,
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've not seen it.
No.
Okay.
But I've lived a very sheltered life, as you know.
That sounds like a business opportunity. You and I should learn piano.
We should. We should.
Or you just have to find a guy, right?
Yeah.
That sounds boring.
Yeah, all of us, we're in the business of I know a guy.
That's 100%.
Yep. So yeah, that's, to put it mildly, the community is what I come here for.
Okay.
Networking. I can do it all in one place. I'm a person who travels a lot, and if I can, have a couple meetings here that save me a trip, and maybe I don't have to go out every week, that'd be great. But I have no problem getting on a plane and coming to a theater near you.
All right. Iffat, let's pull on that for a second. How important is that networking? Chris, obviously, from a distributor standpoint, he's meeting with integrators. How important is that for not just us in the States, but also international folks? Because you have become an international woman of mystery.
Yeah, and I think I'm really glad you asked, because I've had several conversations this week about our community and how we all came together, and how many people have dropped off a certain platform that used to be known as Twitter. Mm-hmm. Now, when a young person or anybody new joined the industry, somebody would say, hey, I've got a new colleague. Yep. Come on, let's get everybody get following them, let's get them to 100 followers.
Tweet storms, yes.
I loved my partnership with Kaleo. Kaleo would start the tweet storm in the US, and I was on the other side of the pond, quite by accident. But we would build this, we'd welcome them in. We'd build this community and network for them, so that they immediately had a good 100 people following them that they could start. AV in the AM was stronger, I think. I know it's doing well on LinkedIn, but I think it was stronger. The algorithms were good. When that all changed, it just became tedious and hard to do. Yeah. And there isn't a platform now where if someone's joining, they can immediately tap in. You follow someone on LinkedIn. How many of us know, more than the people we interact with, all of our followers on LinkedIn? It's really hard. Whereas on Twitter, it was that, through the feed, you were seeing, it's posted this or this person's there. You really got to know people. Mm-hmm. LinkedIn, unfortunately, when a post comes up, because of the nature of it, it drops unless you're having interaction with it. The nature of it is that it's a newsreel, right? It's moving every day, and you've got to go look for it. So I don't know how we fix that, but we need to fix that, because there are some great people coming in who need to feel part of the group and don't, sit on the outside.
I see what you're doing, Iffat.
And
I know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing.
I don't know what she's doing.
Well, I know what I'm doing.
She's egging me on okay. AV in the AM was founded on Twitter.
What is that?
And did that. It's just a little thing that starts on Sunday that I've been volunteering. It's like church.
It's a coffee morning.
It's I think it's evolved. I think a lot of that stuff is evolving. I think social media is evolving. Mm-hmm. Yes, algorithms, and for work and marketing, it's one thing, but even AV in the AM is going to outgrow what the social medias are doing. Mm-hmm. And it has, because it's spilled out into real life. Yeah. And for the folks that were here in the show, I did not have a gathering for the first time. And it's fine. It's okay. Everybody's been busy. My new role has changed, so my show. Exactly.
Yeah, he got a new fancy title.
Yeah. So a lot of things have changed, but bringing that community together is something that is going to happen.
Yes.
But sometimes you just got to you just got to wait and see what the people say. And I definitely, AV in the AM is as the wind blows, right? If it goes left, I'll go left with it. I want to see where the people take it. Yeah. And I think that's where we are right now, in the transitional stage. Because I don't think Blue Sky is 100% there as the platform. I could tell because my interactions and lack of analytics on that shows that it's not 100%. Yes, LinkedIn is the place to be, but LinkedIn has its fallbacks and drawbacks too. Like some of the questions I ask may be a little too spicy for somebody to ask with their entire team answering. Yeah. But I'm going to put them out there. And that's the intent right now, is that I believe that a trade show and an organizations and all the committees within here, there's a lot of things that are not being talked about. And if I'm going to take your platform, I'm going to raise at least one or two of those. We all talk about, what are the trends and stuff like that. There are trends that are not being focused on right now in this industry. And I'll tell you, one of the trends right now is job retention. I think that's one of our biggest problems. I see ageism as a problem as well. Oh yeah. Because it goes coinciding with that, right? Just because you've been in the industry X doesn't mean you can't learn. In the same token, just because
you might be turning 51 here in a couple of months.
Yeah, I know. Some people are just older than the other. Right? So
listen, you two are both babies. Yeah. But you're absolutely right. And I as you both know, I will have a new gig coming soon. But
congratulations.
Thank you.
TBA,
yeah.
To be announced.
But
stay tuned.
what I would say is my first port of call was my old crowd. It was who do you know? No. And then when I was looking at opportunities, they were the people. They were my go-to, who I trust. There's a lot of trust in this community, and to say, this is the direction. What do you think? Just to sound out, and people are incredibly generous and kind and want to help, which is it's rare. You don't get that, and I think that sense of community, we've got to hold on to that, and we've got to build, and we've got to grow that. Not everybody is naturally able to put their hand up and whatever, it's that sense of family which
You have to have trust, and you have to
Yes.
you have to trust the people that you are around to even raise your hand.
Yes.
Right, because sometimes you raise your hand and it gets slapped down.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's wild because it is. We all forget that our livelihoods are still at stake.
Yep.
I mean, it's a
Yes,
community,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
the initial shock, and if you are made redundant, I know a lot of people that have been made redundant,
Oh, yeah.
and that first week, 2 weeks, they'll hit a down, and that's when they need you the most, right? And whether it's sending messages or texts or whatever, there's way too many people out there right now that are in a bad spot because of this. And it's a financial thing. It's also, there's some that hit them personally. They felt that it was a personal jab at it. There's others that felt that, it was an irrational jab. Whatever the companies are doing, they do, and I can't do that. But I will say that
It's always personal, by the way. I'm just going to say that.
okay, all right. But from a community perspective, that's where we've evolved. I mean, originally coming here for the first time, I was by myself, and it was always by myself. And then you'd come with maybe another employee, and you hung out together, and you did the walk, and then did every show thing that you normally do, and first timer, shows and stuff like that. At this point, we're well seasoned and experienced at this kind of stuff. We're not here just technically for the tech anymore. We're here to see it. We're here to learn, but more importantly, I'm still doing what I do every day on a daily basis, which is talk to people, find out where it's going, because I believe the everyday people, not the executives, are the ones that are showing where the trends are, because they're the ones that are being told. The end users are being told, I want this, and they have to go look. They'll come to us, and there's a synergy there. We're still AV professionals. We're still magicians. We're still wizards. Even if it's just putting a board in the front of the TV, we are solving something that magically was not able to be solved. And I love that aspect of it. We said we can solve it with technology. The industry wants us to also solve it with services and with other applications. I think that all that it's finally moving in the right direction. We're past, the Thanos snap that we were in for a while, and I think that the push to the manufacturers to get better, bring development, with the R&D, and you're starting to see that come through with the times that, when we were down and out and kind of not out on the road, they had their people working, and they were thinkers, and they were tinkering, and it takes a while for that stuff to come to market, and it's starting to come now, and it's good. It's reassuring. It makes us feel safe that our industry is okay. But just like anything else, there's always that thing on the overhead, and it hasn't been said yet, but there's AI always looming in the background. There's a weird economy going on, and that's reality. You just got to take it in stride and move and do what you can and be as flexible as possible. That's the mantra. I think that's where really everybody is, from a manufacturer to a distributor. You want to be as agile and as flexible as possible, and that's how you're going to survive.
That's a good place to stop. Thank you both so much. Iffat Chaudhry, how do people connect with you?
I would say LinkedIn is my best place to find me. Thank you.
Mr. Neto, how do people connect?
It's Neto.
Neto.
Yes, can you say it? Because you say it nice with that.
Yes.
Christopher Neto.
There we go. You can find me still on the X platform, because that's where I'm still trying to make sure that the people that follow that is being served by AV and the AM. I also do that on Blue Sky, and I bring it over to LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn is my main stuff. Christopher Neto CTS. That's where you'll find me, and my company Midwich. That's our rebranded name. If you haven't heard, we from Starin, we became Midwich USA, so you can find us there. More than happy to help, and I'll be back on the road, so come into a city near you.
All right. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey listeners, it's your AV sneakerhead, Jennifer Weaver. Listen to AV Career Masterminds, where I chat all things job-related in the audio-visual industry. You can find AV Career Masterminds where you subscribe to podcasts.
All right, section part 2, I guess. With me is Brittany DiCesare from Control Concepts. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. And my buddy Justin Watts from AMD.
Yes. Same thing as last year. I haven't changed.
Same thing as last year, but now you're an ambassador.
I'm a brand ambassador for
Fancy
AMD,
title.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Fancy title. It means I have to do more social media things. So
I am all about this, by the way.
Yeah.
I freaking like. Justin sends me a text like, "I'm an ambassador now. Can I come on the podcast?" Because
I like that way better than
like,
influencer too. Like,
oh yeah.
so much better.
And I work somewhere where we actually support the AV industry. Like we supply a lot of people you see on the show floor with the things they do the awesome they do every day. Yeah. And so, me being one of the world's biggest AV nerds, it's kind of a good fit.
Yeah.
They were surprised when I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." You're an engineer. Yeah, but I'm an introverted extrovert, which means I look at your feet.
Amen, brother.
When I talk to you versus mine.
Amen, brother.
So it's perfect. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the engineer part, and what I don't know, overarching themes, Justin, from this year, from a technical standpoint, from a geeky standpoint.
So one of the things I saw, and again, this is my opinion, so don't. The theme I got from this year was improvement.
Okay.
I saw a lot of products that I've seen before in past InfoComms in a new iteration with definitely a focus on feedback from customers, and they've improved them since then. I was actually kind of surprised to see things that was like, oh, wait a minute, I wanted that box to do X, and it does it now. Cool. That's something new.
They're definitely listening.
Yeah, well, someone's listening at that point in time, right?
Well.
And it's been great to see it. It's been great to see, again, that move forward, right? We've moved past the days where we just throw RJ45 on the back of a box and it's now smart and network connected. We're actually getting thoughtful in how we do things.
Is part of that the feedback loop, though, from the customer and the integrator and the programmers to actually listen from the manufacturing standpoint?
I would, absolutely, it has to. I mean, it has to be something that we can turn 180, 360, 180 from the customer to the companies to ensure we have that loop in there, and then 360 of producing something that is meeting the need, right? We need to get out of the model of producing things that are a solution looking for a problem. Like, listen to your end user and they will tell you exactly what you need to drive this to whatever it needs to be in the future. Yeah. So it's been really awesome.
We definitely had very similar conversations from our perspective too. And it's definitely more manufacturers are looking at how we can help the client, not how we can sell more. Yeah. And so they're talking a lot more about, we want to work with any control we can. So how do we do that? We've got an API, but what else do we need? Because clearly that's not enough. And so there's a lot more talk about, let's be open, let's work together, because our clients are tired of having to piecemeal things together.
Well, talk about that for a second, Brittany, because you said something there about, what else do we need? What else do they need?
Well, they need a lot more than an API.
Wait a minute, APIs fix everything.
They do. That's what I've heard.
Sure, on paper, but that's just the first step. Yeah. And we've got different control systems now that have helped facilitate the conversation towards you need modules, you need drivers, you need plugins, and the manufacturers are getting it, and they are now ready to invest in it. We're seeing so many invest in not only having it, but a high quality one that's going to work for every situation that you've got.
No. Justin, one of the things that we talked about with Iffat and Chris, and that is the community, right? And it's kind of where I want to end on this with you guys. You have been in several different places, and I'm going to get to Brittany because you have too. But where you sit now, how would you define the AV community?
I would say, from where I am now, the AV community has been through a lot in the last, say, 5 years. Yeah. And we've reinvented ourselves into a space where I don't think any of us saw this going before. If you looked at our previous trajectory, it was around what I would call solution selling, right? Not a terrible thing. If you have people who need help, we should be there to help them, right? We really have moved out of that modality into what I call the what's next moment. Julian from AVISPL, I spoke on an AI executive panel with him on Tuesday, had a great point. I kind of added to it. He said, when it comes to the market, everything we're doing is AI, but overall, as an industry, we need to be focused on growth and relevancy. And those are two very key things. But if you put them together, to my point, that's evolution, right? That is a natural cycle of evolution. And we've taken a lot of those steps over the last 5 years. So we have built what I would consider to be a fantastic foundation for the what's next, right? For that next stepping off point. I've been in this is my 15th InfoComm teaching. I don't want to count how many InfoComms it's been overall, because I'd really be dating myself at that point in time. But it's been neat to see how things have moved. But we've moved the needle so much in the last 5 years that this will look drastically different in the next 3 to 4 years. I guarantee it. Mm-hmm. People are starting to see, okay, this is what this could be, and this is what this should be. Mm-hmm. So it's wild. Right. It really is. Like, I still see some of the old stuff that gives me the nostalgia. Like, I still walk through some of the old audio console booths because, oh man, I missed this, right? But now we're seeing actual real discussions happening about what does AI look like? What does information security look like for my products as it relates to things like AI and network availability and those kind of things? It's not just an API anymore. It's the entire suite of the ability to deliver beyond what the API says it's supposed to do. Like, we're on the precipice of something huge, and I'm really looking forward to see what it is.
All right. Brittany, I mentioned the fact that this is you've had several different positions. One of them was helping produce this show a number of years ago. Now, as an attendee and as I'm going to say service provider, you can correct me there, but I would say you provide a service to manufacturers, which ultimately provides it to the programmers and the installers. But again, what would you say about this community?
I've definitely seen a shift. You know, most of our conversations are with manufacturers, and I don't get the opportunity to socialize with integrators and end users very frequently. But I have seen a shift on the manufacturer side towards caring for the client and the end user and the end experience. For a long time, it was focused on self, and a lot of the manufacturers like, what can I do to be first to market? What can I do to be first with the next cool thing? And how can I get more myself? It was very me-centric for that brand. And the brands that were very much like that were the first this show to say, I don't care. I just want to deliver a good experience. I want someone to get the most out of what they're looking for. If my product's included in that, great. And that mindset shift, I think, is really what's going to help us launch off that foundation. I completely agree with you. I think COVID and all of those years, they were hard and necessary too. Okay. I really think that those trials really shook the foundation and allowed us to rebuild on a much firmer one. We're seeing a lot of the desire within teaching, because Steve and I also teach a class. More people want to understand, how do I better my business, not how do I better the technology. Yeah. And we are a technology industry, but at the heart of it, we're business people. And if we can't keep our integrators and we can't keep our end users in business, then it doesn't matter that we have really cool technology. We have to give them a way to be successful at both.
All right. That's a fantastic place to stop. I like that.
All right.
Thank you very much. Mr. Watts, how do people connect with you? How do they connect with AMD?
Well, AMD's everywhere. AMD.com, LinkedIn, X, Twitter, whatever it is now at this point in time, all over the place. And then I am Paladin Machina on all those same things. LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, X, MySpace. I kept it around.
MySpace, you still got it running.
I don't want to. Don't say it too loud. They'll take it away. Tom's my homie.
That is an old joke.
It is.
I'll explain it to the I'm almost
I don't consider myself to be old, so it can't be that old. I had a MySpace.
It's pretty old.
Oh man.
Sorry. I am not going to comment on how old you are. I know. I am not commenting on how old you are. Remember, I crested 50 last year, so I have no room to talk. But
arguably, when you say MySpace and your knees hurt, then you're in that bucket.
Okay.
Right? You can be tangentially aware of MySpace and have a MySpace and not need ibuprofen.
Right. Okay. All right.
So that's the differentiator.
That's the differentiator.
There we go. All right. Good Lord. I was in radio and never mind. Anyhow, Brittany, how do people connect with you or Control Concepts?
Yeah, you can go to controlconcepts.net and learn more about what we do and how we help programmers. You can also find me on LinkedIn at Britt Dice.
All right. Very good. For me, I generally say don't follow me, and I'm still going to say that. Don't follow me anywhere. At this point, I will start complaining about the Bears in about 2 weeks. But go by the website, AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv. You'll find this program, obviously, and a host of others. Mitchell is here with me, so I really don't even know what he posted this week. So, but you can find out really great podcast, including one that Steve Greenblatt, who works with Brittany, his podcast, one that focuses on the higher ed and one focused on women in AV as well as careers. So all that and more at AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
This is Erin Marmoran of EdTech. The world of higher ed AV is growing rapidly. That's why each month we hear from the best and brightest from colleges and universities all over the U.S. Check out EdTech on avnation.tv or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.